Howdy y'all, welcome to the final edition of the 2019 Ruth Stout garden series. And as you can see, we are at the end of our season. I didn't do a winter garden. I've been lacking in keeping updates of our fall garden, but it's because of this thing that we have been working on. So you can see I've been putting sod and everything else in and making that happen. But I want to kind of update you on what I'm doing here. So we actually, with the new pool, we expanded our fence out to give us more yard. And with that, tore out the fencing and everything for our garden and going to be able to expand that. And so as you see that we had the gate there, well, all the fencing that was around it is gone. So what I did is I pulled up all the plants. The three that are sticking up over there are okra plants, and I need to just get the shovel out and finish those up. And what I've done is I pulled out all the bell peppers and beans and tomato plants and put that in what we call the outside garden. But as we have talked about, I'm going to build that up. As you can see here, we have a raised bed in it. That board kind of came out when I took the fence down, and this was inside the original fencing, and then it stops right here on the raised bed and goes down. Now, as you can see on this side, and this is where the fence was, and this was all outside of the fence. Well, now this is going to be inside, and so I'm going to continue with doing the cattle panel all the way around it, put in a couple of gates, and going to continue up. But one thing I did was I piled all of the dead vegetation in here on the lower garden. As we've talked about, this was kind of tilled in, brought in a little bit of dirt, and then put the hay on top of it. But because it was lower and because the clay soil, it held way too much water. And so in the spring, I never got anything really going. The only real big production that we got out of this was in the fall, was the okra plants. And as you can see, these got up pretty high and did some good production. So the step next spring is going to bring in a bunch of dirt, raise it up to that level. I'll take that board out and then put boards all the way around the side, make it all one even raised bed here. But what I did is, to prepare in that, is throw all the vegetation right down. If you've read Ruth Stout's book, she just said that she would pick up the plants and at the end either just chop them and let them lay, whether it was corn or tomatoes, and then just throw them right on top of the garden and let them kind of deteriorate. Now, I found last year that these kind of vines like this don't really deteriorate, but all these leaves and this matter will. So before I bring in the dirt, I'll evaluate and decide whether I need to go ahead and take out the hard vine, and by that time everything else will have deteriorated out through here and make a good compost, and hopefully that will take care of it. So I'm going to leave the hay down here, and that'll be just another good layer from the soil sitting right on top. So that's it for this season, and we look forward to expanding this out and starting fresh in the spring. Have a good winter. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make any comments that you feel necessary to help us improve.